Amandeep is joining us live right now and he has more details in terms of what really happened. Amandeep, good morning. Tell us more.
Morning, Nupur. This morning is shocking morning. Another temple in the Canada was vandalized with the pro-Khalistani slogans and anti-Modi and anti-India slogans. And in fact, this time a new thing was visible in these anti-India and anti-Modi slogans, that they have bracketed BBC. That means again they are saying that declare Modi as a terrorist to BBC, and these are the pro-Khalistani elements. And this is not the first time they are doing this. Before this, several times it has happened in Canada as well as Australia. But now Peel police is investigating the matter, that who all are involved. And in fact, the entire Hindu community has condemned the incident. And even they are in very shock that how one after another temple is being vandalized by these pro-Khalistani elements. And even the Canadian and the Australian governments are giving them the space to organize the referendum to expand their Khalistani agenda. So this is another incident in Canada where the temple has been vandalized by the pro-Khalistani, anti-Indian and in fact anti-Modi slogans. And even now the entire community is condemning the attack. They are trying to approach the authorities there in Canada to take the strict action against these elements, just because they are openly waving for the Khalistan, they are openly campaigning for the anti-India, and in fact these states are giving much space to them to organize their events which are actually against India and even pro-Khalistan. Yes, Nupur.
Part of it, Amandeep, of course, is the fact that we keep seeing these repeated incidents. Now, the Indian government, we are told, has taken it up with their counterparts in both countries, and similar incidents also, of course, reported from the UK earlier. But obviously, there needs to be stronger communication, perhaps.
Well, absolutely. Nupur. The point is that India is taking up the issue with other countries where these incidents are happening. But what these governments are doing, and in fact, recently the violence in Melbourne happened, and in fact, the entire nation was shocked that what all is happening in Melbourne. And even when a group of people, they are highlighting the tricolour, they are being assaulted with the rods and the weapons. And in fact, Australian government did not take action. And again, they are giving the space to these pro-Khalistani elements. And in fact, they are organizing their Khalistani referendum in March as well in Brisbane. So this is how it is happening. There has to be some kind of barricade into the movement and the events of these pro-Khalistani elements, so that at least other communities, in fact the Indian communities and the Hindu communities, can survive safely, they can feel secure. Vandalization of temples are not acceptable, not in India, not in Canada, and anywhere, just because Hindu communities are peacefully worshipping and exercising their religion. But now this is again turning to be the problem of these anti-Indians and pro-Khalistanis. They are again now vandalizing and defacing the temples in Canada, in Australia, and they are opposing the tricolour supporters as well. So this anti-India sentiments is growing, and just Canada, Australia and UK are giving much space to grow them more, and so that these kind of incidents can be repeated. And even now, what we are getting to know is that Peel police is investigating the matter, that who all are involved into this entire incident, just because Hindu community have approached the police, and in fact they have approached the authorities there in Canada also, that these repeated incidents and defacing of the temples is not acceptable in Canada, and they are continuously raising their voice against these pro-Khalistanis. Yes, Nupur.
Now, also, Amandeep, what we have seen is that a growth of these pro-Khalistani organizations across various of these countries. You know, for instance, of course, the Indian government has been tracking their growth in Canada per se. But apart from that, tell us in terms of how big are these small organizations which are behind this, or have their numbers grown in the recent past?
Nupur, well, the point is they are not that much big, but they are posing themselves that they are getting maximum support in the other countries. And even, yes, you have rightly pointed it out that Indian intelligence agencies are continuously watching their movement in Canada, Australia, UK and the European countries as well. But the point is that the governments of UK, Australian government and Canadian government, they are giving much space to organize these events. One after another, they are posing themselves that they are not into any kind of violence. Their movement is very much peaceful, and their demand to form the Khalistan in Punjab is very much reliable and even very much authentic. And in fact, this is how they are posing themselves. But these incidents are actually exposing what had happened on January 29 in Melbourne of violence, how the weaponized and the armed pro-Khalistani elements assaulted the people who are supporting tricolour there. That has exposed how the sentiments of these pro-Khalistanis are actually anti-India and how they are getting into the violence. Another incident, Gauri Shankar Mandir, one incident. Now another Canada temple has been vandalized by these pro-Khalistani movements. If they wanted to run their Khalistani agenda, their governments are giving them much space. They can do it in a peaceful manner. Why they are hurting the Hindu sentiments in Canada and Australia? Why they are confronting the sentiments of the Indians in these countries? Yes, Nupur.
All right, Amandeep reporting on this. Thank you very much for joining us. So Amandeep, of course, is bringing us the latest in terms of this incident that has been reported from Canada, where a Hindu temple had graffiti painted on its walls.